Hi, it's Erin. Welcome back to Linden Boulevard. And I thought today's been the first very nice day of the season. So I'd take you on a tour of my backyard in the worst condition that it can be in, which is early spring. We're not quite early spring, but it feels like it today. I think it's close to 50 degrees out and it's sunny. We haven't seen sun like this with warm weather since last year. So, all right, so let's get to it. I'm going to show you the yard. Okay, we're going to start where you would walk in from our side gate. And as you can see, it's a little bit of in flux. We have wood on the side and then overwintered perennials from a project that I have to start this spring. In the side lot here, we have hostas. I think they're plantain hostas all along the side here. They get the most awesome smelling flower in the fall. And when they die back in the fall, I just leave them and I clean up this yard when I start to see them break through the ground. So then we walk forward. This has been like dumping ground for all things behind the greenhouse. I'm sure my neighbors are really excited about that. But we're gonna clean this up now that it's been warming up. So you make the turn, and then these are Annabelle, old school Annabelle hydrangeas that are on this side lot, and they keep upright by the gate that we have installed here. And then the greenhouse just went in this season, and unfortunately we didn't get it painted before the rains kind of got it, so we have some bubbling to the boards there, but I mean, what are you going to do? When it gets all planted and growing, you won't even see that. I have Chloe grass and then some turf lily here, and that late last fall, actually maybe even winter, I put in daffodils as well, so hopefully they'll be breaking ground here shortly. Probably 50 daffodils I put in that space there. So you come around the corner, and then we have our deck, this little poured patio, the new patio for the greenhouse, and we installed that last season with some flagstone that we saved from an old patio that we tore up. These are all my winter sewing projects right there. So we'll come, I'm having a hard time with this gimbal. So we're going to come around to the mud pit of the backyard. I'm going to walk you to the left. We put this garden in this year. It's just a little cutout. I cannot remember the tree I planted there. Shoot. Right there. It will come to me, or I'll insert it in the video. There's a fern that's dying, and I usually put just some perennials here, and I'm thinking about expanding this space a little bit more. And I salvaged this iron gate last year, which was kind of what prompted it to be this size. But I don't know, I'm toying around with fixing this and changing it a little bit in the future. Then this little fence came from a friend who had a big enclosed area, and they took that fence down, so I took it from her and painted it, and it needs to come down though. It's like rotting and falling apart, so we have to come up with a solution for this corner. So we have a bed that kind of wraps around here. You can kind of see the plastic edging, which eventually we'll replace, but it's working for now. We have a dogwood that anchors this corner. And then this side garden Goes from there to my little makeshift arbor. This side yard here is all ostrich fern. So just so you can see what it looks like as a beginning, there's kind of a walkway, which you can't tell because of all the leaves, but there's a walkway that's goes like this, and it's like a circle. So there's some plants in here. And then we have the pond. That's like a raised bed pond that I think might be on its last year, and then we're going to do something different. Partly because of the cedar that we bought to line it is completely broken back here, and we hide it with this pot. I have some little drift roses here, and then we have callas that come up here that have been successfully overwintered every year. There's a clematis that grows there. We have some climbing. This is what is it? Lemon lace elderberry. And then we have a climbing hydrangea here that is growing on like a copper structure back there that you can't see anymore. It's just kind of giving it support. It's pretty well established, but I'd like it to kind of head that way, but it needs something to grow on because this vinyl fence is not sufficient enough. So we've been toying with ideas of how to get this to kind of make its way that way. We have a burning bush in the back that we just like for the privacy aspect. We haven't taken it down. Anyway, that's there. So there's like this walkway. There's garden here. Let me span out a little. Garden here, and then this walkway here. Okay, so you keep coming along the path here, and this is a 9-bark, and your standard hydrangea, which I have to prune back soon. I'll be shaping it. Maybe I'll make a video of that, but don't do what I do necessarily, because I'm not proficient at it. You can critique me if you'd like. This is you can't even see it because of the background, but maybe if I change the angle. Right here is a bloomerang lilac. I have lots of bee balm in here. There's phlox and some other things. There's a really loud cardinal. Excited about the weather. This is autumn clematis. It's quite the beast. I gotta take all that down. Haven't done that yet. And I just put hardware cloth up 2 posts and then hooked it around to make this arbor. But this autumn clematis got so dense, so we reinforced it with this piping into here, which makes it look much better. But look at it's already blooming. I mean, not blooming, but turning green. So I gotta get to work and take all this crap down. Okay, you come out of the arbor, and you're in kind of like the mid yard. When we moved into this 20 years ago, there was an old broken down outside fireplace. So we took that down, and this is kind of like a back work in progress area. This is a dogwood of some sort. I'm not sure what kind. I bought it at Aldi. It has a little sprouted twig. And I threw it back here because I didn't really know what it was going to do. Do I like it? I'm not sure. I'm going to just probably prune it back some. We have rhododendron back here. And there's a different kind of rhododendron here, or an azalea. It has a beautiful orange flower that comes in the spring there. And then as you turn, we have a fireplace, and this fireplace used to be an old blue spruce that got sick and died. So we took it out, and we thought it would be a perfect place to put in a fire pit. So we built this fire pit probably, I don't know, 15 years ago. And then these rhododendrons came with the house when we moved in, and I believe they're at least probably 40 years old. And this one just kicked the bucket this season. You can tell because of the way the leaves are. And now that it's warm, they should perk out like that. And this one looks very sad. So I'll probably have to take that one or cut it way back, and maybe it will regenerate from the ground. So anyway, let's go from here to this side, where the greenhouse is. So we have the greenhouse and this mess, another arbor. I planted climbing rose on it this past season, and not one bloom came from this rose. Not one. I'll show you what it is. It doesn't even say. Assorted climbing rose. So, I don't know if I get a dud or what. So I'll print it back and see how it goes. But this whole spot is just, there's no pattern to anything. It's just what I like, and I threw in. There's a lot of hydrangeas back here. These are some limelights that were planted in the front yard that I now have back here because they were too tall and blocking the bay window in the front. And I have some different varieties of limelights. There's one clump, another clump, another clump. One of my favorite flowers. So that's another 9-bark right there. It's hard to see, when everything's brown. And then I have my beehives here that are all dead. I lost my bees last season before the winter even started. One hive absconded, and then the other hive succumbed. I don't know. Oh, they were robbed out. That's what happened. I won't get into it, but another group of bees came and killed them, essentially. Stole all the stuff and left. So I'm getting some new bees this season. So this is the side lot. This tree right here is a Seven Suns tree. It's we planted it for the bees, actually, because it gets it's a fall blooming, so it's like fall nectar and pollen source for the bees. All these trees are all red buds, eastern red buds, that self-seeded when we have a large eastern redbud tree, and we just kind of let them go. Except we have an issue because we have a power line there. So we probably have to take all these out. This season we added a garden here because there was a dead evergreen in this space. So we took that out. The stump is right there. And I was gifted a bunch of hydrangea. So we're making a little hydrangea forest back there. And then I have two different what do I have? I have two different Japanese maples. Lord. This is a blood good here. It was for a project I was doing at another client's house, but I left it. I didn't water it for a little while, and it, like, all the leaves crisped up. So I had to go get a new one for the client, and I kept this one and planted it and hoped that it would rebound this season. And so far, it looks like it's budding. So I think it's going to be good. It just looked ugly, and I didn't want to plant an ugly tree. This is new to me. I got this last season and threw it in the ground, called Pearl Glam. It's a beauty berry. So I'm hoping this does a lot this season, because when I planted it, these were all just like rehabs. So hopefully they'll do well this season. There's supposed to be coneflower in here. I don't think they made it, to be honest. But there's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 limelights in here. So this is the view towards the back. On this side here is all fern. High, like 2 above your head ferns that are all here. And then here's the chicken coop that needs another paint job and a roof job. So yeah, we'll get to that. And then this side lot, this is where the red bud used to be. So when we took this down, and the kids are now a little bit older, I was able to kind of develop this side lot. There was really nothing here before. And so there's a lot of native plants in here, of which I could refer to a map that I mapped it out. But there's a lot of different hostas back here. I just put, these guys are coming. Nice. Some Lenten rose. I don't remember the variety. And it's a Rose of Sharon here. This is can't remember the name of the rose, but it's like an old-fashioned rose. There's a bunch of Brunnera in here, and so that is the back of the lot where those arborvitaes are. That shade cloth is going to continue over here. I just ran out of energy putting it in before winter hit. Our neighbors in the back have some chihuahuas that torture my dogs, just the sight of them. So that was like supposed to be a deterrent. Whether it works, I don't really know. This is a little burn pile we have, where we bring all our stuff, and it looks terrible. The idea is to get rid of all of this season and continue with the garden back here. Will it happen? I don't know. This is an old playhouse that we have now stacked wood in to keep dry. And then this corner is definitely something we need to get to, but haven't. These are for Cynthia here. We planted this white pine 19 years ago. So that's what it looks like in 19 years' time. We have a soccer net here for my youngest son, who is an avid soccer player. And then this is a look towards the back of the house, from the way backyard that we call it. We have a dog house that we convert to a chicken coop for young chickens before they integrate with the big girls. Lots of white pines in a row that we did not plant. The previous owner from 2 times ago planted all that. And then we have a huge patch of moonflower that grows here. And I salvaged, all my plants are salvaged pretty much. This is a verbena that's here and here. So hopefully those guys come back as well. And then we're going to prune up these old yews to make them a little less gangly, and also to be able to see into the other part of the yard. This is a self-seeded red bud. We did not plant that. That came from the mother plant that's dead now. I'll show you the garden. This is a little garden that we planted. It's got 2 4x8 raised beds and then 2 4x4s. Well, 3. There's one that Tony, my youngest kid, wanted, and I snuck it in back there. So that's his little planting garden. So I just cleaned this up last year. This was all strawberry that went crazy back here, and I think I got most of it out. We have a drip system that comes back here to water the plants. So that's that. We put chicken wire along the ground to help prevent the rabbits from getting in. And there was, along the whole front sides, on both sides, a bunch of lavender. But the lavender doesn't really do well here. I'm not really sure why. I've tried several different vines to grow up and around this trellis that my husband built out of like scrap copper pipe. So I have to I'm going to try something new this year. That was supposed to be passion vine this year, or last year, and didn't work. Let's see if it looks like there's any. I think it's dead. So now I have, what I think I'm going to end up doing is, as the lavender peters out, here is globe thistle. I think I'm just going to plant that all along here because globe thistle is a workhorse beast and the pollinators love it. So I think I'm going to just go with that. I transplanted it from the front yard to the back last season, and it took off without any problems. So that pretty much concludes the backyard tour. The back, I mean, it's in the worst condition that it can be in, so I thought it would be the perfect thing to show you. This, randomly in the middle of everywhere, this is a planter that I repurposed a few years back, and last season it just it was in here, but when we planted this up we had to move it out, and it just sat there because it was full of dirt, and I had vegetables in it last season, so we have to find a new spot for that. But that's why there's this random blue barbecue sitting in the yard. That's it, guys. I just wanted to take you along and show you the backyard. And if you have any ideas or any input you want to share, feel free to leave it in the comments. And I will then, bring you along for more updates as time goes on. Have a great rest of your day.